I want to thank both of you. Eiko, thank you, Gudni.
Thank you.
For the time today. Now, the first thing I'd like to start off with is by asking you. I'll start off with you, Eiko. Ladies first.
Okay.
Eiko, where were you born?
I was born in a prefecture called Saitama, which is, I don't know if...
Everyone knows Saitama.
Okay.
Everyone knows Saitama.
Yes, yes, that's where I was born. Yeah.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
I have a brother, older brother.
Older brothers? How many years difference is he than you?
3 years.
3 years. Are you guys pretty close?
Not really.
Eiko, when you when you're in school, did you go to school all the way through here in Japan?
Yes, but I studied in Spain for about a year when I was in university.
At the university?
Barcelona, yeah.
In Barcelona?
Barcelona, yes.
Okay, so when you were in school, when you were in elementary school, what were your interest, your biggest interest in elementary school?
I was always interested in foreign cultures and you know, learning foreign languages. Yeah, so I took major in English in high school and then Spanish in college.
So you didn't speak English at all until you got into high school?
Right. I studied on my own, but I didn't speak.
Did you have any
well.
friends that could speak English?
No, not at that time, no.
And you went to school in Tokyo?
In
Saitama.
Saitama.
In Saitama. So you said
yeah, I went to Sophia University.
Jochi?
Jochi, hi.
And you were on so you were in the main campus. You had
Yes, main campus, yes. Yes.
So you spent 4 years at Jochi?
Yes.
What did you study?
Spanish language and Spanish cultures. And
Really?
yeah,
¿Habla español?
Se me olvidó casi todo. Hace cuántos años que estaba en España. So
Muy bien.
I have to practice again.
Okay.
It's been like a long time.
That's good.
I know, yeah. It's really, but I forgot.
That's something. All right, so then you said while you were in college, you went to Spain.
Yes.
Well, how did that happen?
I always wanted to live abroad. Like sometimes I couldn't see or couldn't imagine myself living only in Japan for the rest of my life. So, you know, that was my first trial.
First year, second year in college, third year in college?
Third year I went.
Third year in college.
Yes.
So how long were you in Spain?
For about a year, because it was an exchange program.
Okay. So how did you find that? What was that experience like?
Really glad I, had that opportunity. But of course I was a kid, mentally, emotionally. So there are things that I kind of regret that, I think like, I should have done this more. I should have studied this more. I have these, regrets. Yeah. But,
regrets.
But it was a really good experience. Yeah. I still have connections with some friends I had there.
Oh, you were there. Yeah. So then after you finished that, then you went through, when you finished there and you came back.
Yes.
You came back, you graduated.
Yes.
And then what did you do?
And then I didn't really know what to do. I knew that, I want to do something that is to do with the foreign countries, but I didn't know specifically what, because my parents were divorced and I only have my mom living with me.
Wait, when did they divorce while you were in college?
No, when I was in junior high school. Junior high school, yes.
In junior high school?
Yes.
So you were living with your mother the whole time?
Right.
What about your brother? Where was he?
He was living with us too, but then he left, started living on his own. Yeah, so it was.
Did you still have a relationship with your father, even though they divorced?
He's here living
with
us.
Now.
Yeah, we're taking care.
But I mean, I'm talking about when she divorced. Did you keep a relationship with
no,
him?
No, not at all, not at all.
So you didn't get to see him. You didn't have to deal with him.
Almost no, not at all. And we started having relationship with him again when I grew up. Like after you got married? Yeah, we got married, yeah.
Gudni, where are you from?
Iceland.
Iceland? That's interesting. So you grew up there.
Cold.
It's cold in Iceland. I think that's the reason why you got the name.
Yeah.
Iceland. So you grew up there your whole life.
Well,
Until when?
I was born and raised in Iceland, but I soon started traveling.
Mm-hmm.
I
No,
felt claustrophobic in Iceland.
what's that?
Claustrophobic.
Oh, you got claustrophobic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Wait.
I felt like
It was too small a place.
too small.
Oh, wait, hold on. Don't go too quick. Wait, so elementary school, what was it like? So do you have brothers and sisters?
Yes, we're five of us. So
The oldest is?
four older brothers and sisters.
Okay, the oldest is
The oldest is
a boy or a girl?
my sister is oldest,
okay.
and she is 80 something.
No, I thought you said she was 10 years between
No,
you and her.
my brother is next.
Okay.
He's 73.
73, so that's 10
I'm
years.
63. Yeah? Yes.
So he's 10 years older.
10 years
73.
older.
So she's
73, and then my next brother is 73, and next brother is 76,
okay.
73, 4, 5, something like that.
Okay.
And there's 2 years between them.
Each one, yes, okay.
So she's
10 years from you and the
Yeah.
older brother.
and then 2 years between all of them. So
Right.
she's up to there in the 80s.
So how many boys in the family? She's the only girl?
Yeah. My
Okay, so
sister-
one girl and 4 boys.
Yeah.
Mom and dad, are they still doing okay? They're together?
No, they're both gone.
Oh, they both passed? Okay.
Passed away many years ago, actually.
Okay.
And actually, my father passed away 1995 when I moved to America. I moved to America in
That was your
95.
first time leaving Iceland?
No.
You left before?
Like I said, I felt very claustrophobic in Iceland. I couldn't breathe, so I started traveling. And,
From what age?
I was 14 when I first went to London and said, I'm going to live here.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Let's see, I want to know, you went to elementary school there, junior high school,
Yeah.
high school.
Yeah.
You barely got into high school if you left when you were 14.
Yeah, I didn't leave. That was a trip. And it was like, I want to live here. So I
A family trip or what kind of trip was it?
Actually it was just me and my friend. It was, confirmation time.
You mean you ran away from home?
No.
What'd you do?
My grandfather, he started the Icelandic Airlines in Iceland. The air company.
Okay, airline, okay.
And so we got free trips. So me and my friends from high school, we went down and I got 2 tickets to London and we took off.
What did your mom and dad do? What would your father do? What kind of work?
He's a businessman, wholesale, import, export.
Of what kind of goods? What do you do?
All kinds of welding wires, welding machines, wine, pâtés,
Now, so as long as you know, he's always done this.
Yes.
He never worked for anyone else.
No.
That just, as far as you know.
Yeah.
All right. And then your mother, what did she do?
Housewife, home.
But why'd you call her princess? Didn't you call her princess or
Queen.
queen?
Yeah,
That's your terminology.
Yeah, I didn't call her that. Everybody else called her that in Iceland.
Really?
Queen Dora.
Why?
Was her nickname because she was always very royal.
Okay.
She always took care of everybody. She was the prime hostess.
That's the reason for the picture. So that's you at the age of 14 or 15, right?
Yes.
With your mother and father.
Yes.
She was always, so that's why you married Eiko.
Right.
You wanted someone like that. That's why you married Eiko.
Yeah. I found someone just like my mom.
I'm telling you.
But the time we met, I wasn't like how I am. So
No, I knew you would become this.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
And they met. My mom met her. And
Oh, she did? So wait.
Yeah.
So when did you, how old were you when your mom passed?
We went to Iceland. My mom passed, what is it? It was 15 years ago.
15 years ago?
No, less, 10 years ago.
And your father passed when you were?
It was 95.
95, okay. But you're already here.
I was in America.
You were in America when he passed.
Moved to
But you were
America.
older too at that time too, 95.
Yeah, 40.
So how old was he when he passed?
Oh, he was 70 something years old.
70, and your mother?
He was very sick. My mom was
90?
90 something. Yeah.
Wow, she lived a long, good life.
Yeah, long with a good life.
Always in Iceland.
Yeah.
She didn't want to leave. She didn't want to lose her queen status.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right. So anyway, so you 14. You went to
Yeah,
London.
trip to London.
London.
That was like, that's when I got the bug.
Okay.
To like, I can't stay in Iceland. So I was traveling constantly to
What about it?
Denmark.
What was it that made you think you left Iceland? You knew you wanted to go. Is it because you were watching movies or TV? What made you decide, hey, I can't do this?
Honestly, when I was growing up in Iceland, there was no TV. Iceland had no.
Yeah, that's right. I heard about it. Wait, you didn't get it until what year?
We got it.
1970.
We got television from the American base. So I was raised on Sesame Street.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
I was watching Sesame Street as a kid. And Icelandic television came when I was maybe 12 years old.
Okay, right.
You know.
So you'd already, emotionally, you're pretty set already, emotionally. This was just more information now, so when you got the TV set.
Yes. I read a lot. I was reading books and
Travel books or what?
No, just
Adventure?
about life, philosophy,
Okay.
religion,
Okay.
all kinds of, Hemingway, anything. Just wanted to know about life,
Okay.
about people.
Okay.
I loved biographies. And I loved, my favorite thing to do was to go to elderly homes and talk to old people.
So
And I would ask them, hey, how was Iceland 50 years ago, 70 years ago? Tell me how it was when he was young.
Right. And it was the same way it was when you were growing up, right? I'm just kidding. It didn't
No,
change much.
but before electricity, it's like I'm talking to people who lived
Who did right before electricity, right?
And this is a time which a lot of my students don't get. This is a time where we had no internet.
That's right.
You and I raised with no internet.
That's right. I mean, we had to wait for a letter. That was the
Right.
highlight.
Yes.
And that would take weeks sometimes.
I wrote a lot of letters. Actually,
Yes, so
from
did I.
Iceland.
So did I.
I
Not from Iceland, but I wrote letters. That's right.
When I got a typewriter,
Mm-hmm.
I was 12 years old. I got my typewriter, and I was constantly.
So growing up, what were the activities that you really remember as a child growing up in Iceland that you liked? Did you do a lot of fishing?
No.
Okay.
My dad was a salmon fisher, famous
Mm-hmm.
for salmon fishing
Okay.
in the rivers.
Okay.
So I'd go with him sometimes. I loved doing that.
Right.
But my number one thing was just reading, study. I was a very boring teenager. No parties or anything like
What about your brothers and sisters? What were they doing?
I don't know. They were gone. I mean, at this time, they were all married and kids.
Wait, no.
No,
There's
that's 10
There's only 2 years between each one of you. Wait, and there's 10 years.
Them,
Between
10 years between me and my brother. So
So
I'm 10 years younger.
10 years younger, right? I got you. Okay.
The youngest one.
Right. So you never hung out with them. You didn't do very much with them at all.
Not really, no.
Okay.
They were doing their life and gone.
Mhm.
So I was raised.
So you're just really a recluse, right? You just sitting there, did your stuff. You didn't have any friends.
studying physics and math and just I studied actually. I was lucky in high school that my teacher was studying at the university, and he saw how bored I was
Mm-hmm.
in high school. So I started studying with him at the university. So I was in physics classes.
At what age? What age is this?
This is high school.
In high school, okay. When you got into high school.
And but my search was outside Iceland.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have the teachers I needed. I wanted.
You knew that you didn't have the teachers you wanted.
I knew that. There was a lot of I always sought spirituality,
Okay.
but the spirituality there was there's a lot of psychic people in Iceland. People who see ghosts and
Okay.
elves and things.
And
Because Iceland
auras.
is very open
Right.
to that,
Okay.
and I wasn't looking for that.
Okay, that's
That
not what you wanted to say.
Normal to me. I was like, well, whatever.
Right.
I wanted, Nikola Tesla say.
Okay, right. Gotcha.
That's the stuff I wanted, and there were no teachers of that in Iceland.
Uh-huh.
So I found that in London, though. I found this in London and started studying. So I was always traveling to Copenhagen, London, Berlin. These were my places.
Eiko, have you been to Iceland?
Yes, a few times.
A few times.
Many times, yes.
It had to be interesting when you two met. Oh, wow, I can think about so many things you can talk about. You're opening my mind wide open. So you wanted to find a different place after you went to London, that was for sure. So how long did it take after that you finally were able to leave? You were 14 when you first left.
Yeah.
How long were you in London? How long were you in London anyway?
Well, I lived there on and off for years, for many, many years. and we had a flat. And '82, I moved to Sweden, and completely away from Iceland. So it took me a while, but still.
Now, another question is kind of personal. Did you always have long hair?
No.
When did you start letting it grow long?
Actually,
I mean,
in the 70s, I had this huge afro.
wait just a minute.
Actually, my
Wait a
hair just
minute.
grew.
So you've always you didn't have any decisions as to how you're gonna have your
No,
hair.
it just grew. It just grew.
When did you decide to make it long, and why have you decided to continue to keep it long? Because I've only known you with long hair.
I think I have long hair for
More than 20. You cut short for a
I
while.
cut it short in the US.
Yeah, and then after you moved here too, very short time ago.
Where were you living in the U.S. when you cut it short?
Utah.
Utah. Okay, but
Of all places. Going into a bar, I had to pay $5 to
I
get in.
bet you did. Really? Yeah. So you decided to cut it short so you'd have to stop having to play.
It was a green card thing.
Okay.
So
That's why. Okay.
I had a choice of a few places to go, but Utah became, and it's beautiful up there.
Isn't it?
The mountains,
Isn't
Park
it?
City. I did a lot of my stuff in Park City. So so I ended up in Utah, but I had a place down in LA.
Okay.
On Marina Del Rey.
Right. That's nice.
I still have an office there.
Okay. All right. So anyway, so you went to the States. So your father was into trade. Did a lot of trade. He brought things in and out and stuff like that. Is that where you got your business sense from?
Yes. My father, I've had a lot of teachers in my life, but my father was number one. He taught me to be a man, to respect women.
Tell me, give me some of the key things you remember that you quote all the time that your father used to tell you.
Yeah. Well, example with women, he said, you are always telling me, just remember, you don't own her. He said, I would have a problem with a girlfriend or something, and he said, well, don't treat her like a possession. You don't own her. Things like this. And then in behavior, to respect her opinions. What do you think? Because your opinion is not, he would say to us, you have a strong mind, and you're like me. We both have a strong mind, we're strong-willed. So, be careful with your girlfriend or future wife, but doesn't take over her will. She has to have her will. And that was obvious with mom. Now, you could see that in my mom. She was strong. He did not push her down or anything like this.
Okay.
But it was a very Victorian home because my mom was home. She went to a university to learn how to take care of a home. We still have that university last time, actually.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Homemaker.
Right.
That's your degree.
Right. It's not any disgrace in being a homemaker.
Right.
At all.
No, exactly.
Right.
See, and from her I learned to sew. I used to fix my own socks. All through the 80s when I lived in Sweden, I fixed my own socks. So yeah, and I was a professional dancer, Martha Graham style.
Martha Graham's okay,
Yeah,
right.
Modern ballet.
Right, modern ballet.
And I taught ballet actually
Okay.
in Sweden. And
What was your hair long then?
yes, it for a while, yes. For a while short, and then as a dancer, I had a long hair.
No, I didn't get this. Why do you keep your hair long?
The wisdom is in the hair. No, I've had short hair, but this is me.
Okay, what about a beard?
I tried that for a while. I just don't look good in beard.
Okay. All right. Well, that works for you. I just wanted to know.
Yeah.
It works for you. I can't see you without it now. Good thing. Okay, that's interesting. So you did ballet as well. After that, what other kind of activities, physical activities, were you involved with? Or was that?
Well, here's the thing. I as a kid, I was very weak because I was born identical twin, and my twin brother died 30 minutes after birth. But physically, I was weak. So at age 6, my mom said, "I'm going to put him in ballet and see if I can strengthen his body."
His core, yeah.
And then my dad said, "Well, if you're putting him in ballet, I'm going to have him do judo." So I did both.
You did both?
Judo and ballet. And I think because of that, I became ambidextrous. I can use both right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Even now? Okay.
and it was more stronger when I was young. But I even used to take notes in the university. I used to take notes with both hands.
Both hands.
And actually, different notes, different things.
You take a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit
Yeah.
there. Okay.
But yeah, so I did ballet and judo, and then judo slowly became I did karate out of judo. So I've been martial arts my whole life.
Still? Do you still do
I
it?
still teach, yeah.
Okay. You teach? Okay.
And I'm a 7th degree black belt, so I have students coming from all over the world to Japan actually. We did in Okinawa, there 500 students came
Is that
to
right?
Okinawa.
Okay.
It was massive.
Okay.
Yeah, it was huge.
Now, how long have you two been together?
16 years we got married.
Yeah, 16 years is married.
2005.
And, but she was my translator for 3-4 years before
Before
we
that.
actually got together.
All right, so who pursued who?
He pursued me.
All right,
At
that's
the
what I'm
beginning.
talking about.
I was
Because you're a Jochi girl. What was the religious slant in your family?
Lutheran.
Lutheran. Okay.
But
Were you baptized as a Lutheran?
Yes.
Okay. Without your choice.
Yes.
Okay.
Baptized as a child,
Right.
confirmed at age 14, and that's when I started questioning
So what's this all about?
organized religion.
Right.
And after I loved the priest. I
Mm-hmm.
really liked him,
Mm-hmm.
but the whole institution was just like,
Yeah.
But I wanted to explore, so I explored,
Mm-hmm.
and I studied other religions and other types of,
Okay.
and always been curious about all this, but yeah, got realization about organized religion.
Did you go to college?
Yes.
Where?
In Iceland, I went to business college
Okay. To study what?
against my will.
Okay.
And
Against your father?
Yeah, I did it for him. I mean, not against my will. It was
Okay.
fine,
Okay.
but I didn't want to study that. It was just
When did you know that?
right before I
Before you
Yeah.
started.
Because I was.
Did you
already
finish
at-
4 years?
It
in
was
business?
actually a 2-year college,
Okay.
and because I was already at the university studying physics, which is my passion.
What?
And
At the
I
same university?
No, different university, but in Iceland. So I was studying physics, and I was taking classes there. I was taking classes in Oxford, and I was taking classes everywhere. Physics was my life,
Mm-hmm.
and still is. I still teach quantum physics.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I didn't want to do business. I wanted to study the science. You know,
So how long was it before you decided, okay, I'm no more business? How many years
Well-
did you take of it before you stopped?
I just took the 2 years. I finished.
Okay.
And then, my father expected me to either come to his company and be trained to take over that company,
Mm-hmm.
or go further education within business. And I just had to say no, stop. And then actually it was weird, 1980, because I was an artist. I had published my poetry book, won an award in the US. It's over here on the other side of the wall, and it's a big trophy. And I had art, my paintings, and he was like, well, if you want to study this, so he got me into Parsons in New York,
Mm-hmm.
and I sent some art, and they accepted me. So I was going to New York to study,
Mm-hmm.
and then suddenly I said, no, I'm going to Sweden. So he was like really
Come on.
frustrated.
What was he doing with his other sons? What about his other sons? They all decided they didn't want to work with Dad either?
They actually, 2 of them did.
Okay.
We actually, for a while, we all worked with them. Then my father lost his health, and he didn't want to pursue the business anymore.
Was he in his 50s at this time? Because you said he
Yeah.
passed away in his 70s or
Yeah,
60s?
he was 70 something.
yeah.
And so yeah, he just wanted to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I moved, he was very disappointed when I moved away. But
Because he really had bet, he
yeah, he
thought
wanted me
he'd be
to
the
take
one.
over. 'Cause
Right.
I was actually the only one who was educated. My brothers never went to school.
Wait, they didn't pass the elementary, and they did elementary, junior high, high school.
Yeah,
They never went to college.
no,
You're the only one.
yeah. And my father,
And the last one, too.
yeah. But 10
His
years
last
later,
chance.
I went back to Iceland, and I was with him. I knew he was passing, so I was with him. I drove him every day for the last 2 years of his life.
Were you there when he passed?
I was actually in America,
In America.
but he had already said goodbye. He knew he was
Oh,
gone.
no, okay.
So,
My goodness. So how long after you left did he pass? Was it, I mean, how long was it since the last time you
just
saw
a few
him?
months.
A few months. Then he passed
And
away.
I was in the came to the States in April, and he passed in August.
Are you close with your brothers and sister? You said, didn't you say your sister passed? Or you?
No, they're still
They're,
around.
they're still all
No,
around.
they're still around, and my next brother up, we're pretty close. We talk. He works for my company in Iceland, so I have a company in Iceland. We make health products
Mm-hmm.
out of Icelandic seaweed.
Okay. All right.
So-
Have you had any of that, Eiko?
Yeah.
It's easy. It's very easy.
Okay. As good as Japanese seaweed?
Much better.
They're tablets?
Tablets,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're tablets.
And so what is it? Vitamin C? What are you supposed to get from it?
No, it's iodine. It's
Iodine?
You know, it's a
Okay.
very pure. Because it's North Atlantic Ocean,
Okay.
cleanest seaweed in the world. So we collect that and make tablets.
No, how's that supposed to help my body? Taking it.
Thyroids keep your
Thyroids, okay.
your
Nice and clear.
yeah. The company has been on hold, mostly because Corona. So it just kind of
Just
we're
slow
still
down.
making it and selling in Iceland.
Mhm.
So
But you haven't been able to go global
no.
where you wanted to. Okay. So you got your business sense from your father. That's the base of it.
Mm.
When do you feel like you really started applying that? When was your first company? How old were
I
you?
always applied it. I started selling. I imported, as a teenager, I imported martial arts equipment from Taiwan. And
What age
so-
is teenager when? How old were you?
16, 17
16,
years
17.
old. I was importing because we were doing karate and,
Right.
and there was no equipment in Iceland. You know, we were going down to London to buy stuff and bring it back. And I thought, get a full container from Taiwan and sell it. So it was my first kind of business.
Well, where'd you get the money from to do that?
My dad.
Okay, that's how I mean. I just want to
Yeah,
hear how you
borrowed
got started.
money from my dad,
Right.
paid him back.
And you paid him back,
Oh, yeah,
and he was good.
And he also he did the same thing because he broke from his dad.
Wait, how many kids in his family?
They were 8.
And he was number what?
He was the second oldest.
Okay. And all in Iceland.
Yeah,
Okay.
all the Iceland.
Did you know many of your uncles and
Oh,
aunts?
yeah.
Okay.
Still have good relationship with them.
Okay.
Yeah. All his brothers and sisters are gone, but
Right.
all their kids were all in good. Yeah, my grandfather was a pioneer. He started out as a captain of a boat, and that grew to 7 boats. And then he moved to the big city and started a big factory and started selling products.
What about your family? Like on your father? What'd your father do?
But I always liked him because he was very, very gentle. You know, he almost never gets angry.
So you never heard him have argument or
No,
achieve that?
no,
Nothing
no.
like
He
that.
was always nice to me. He was
That's
very,
yeah.
gentle person.
Okay.
Yeah. But I heard from my mom that his family had like a supermarket. Kind of, they owned a supermarket
In Saitama?
somewhere in Saitama,
Okay.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then at the beginning it was going really well, and then it went
Yeah,
bankrupt or
yeah.
something. And since then he was changing jobs and
And the funny about her mom and dad, same last name.
Before they got married?
Yes.
Right.
Well, I'm sure they had to really check. They had to make sure they weren't related, right?
But that whole family is kind of, they're all somewhat related.
kind
From
of
way back.
in
Yeah.
that area in Saitama there are many.
There's a many,
With the same, similar
name,
names,
yeah.
okay.
Kurosu.
There's a reason why.
Kurosu.
Close.
Yes, that's a cross.
Right.
And they probably all came from, what is it, Kumamoto? No.
Kyushu? Kumamoto.
Kyushu.
What's that area?
Amaksa, Kyushu.
No,
Kyushu,
Kyushu.
where they killed all the Christians.
Yeah.
Ah.
Shimabara.
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 Yeah.
So,
His
probably.
Assumption.
My assumption.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
We don't know.
The book. Your
Yeah, this is
grandfather?
my grandfather's autobiography.
So that's Icelandic.
Yes, Icelandic.
I've never seen Icelandic. And I won't be able to see it now either unless I get my glasses. Your grandfather's in it?
Yes.
Which one is he?
This is my 7, not 8.
He's seven.
7 kids.
Which one's
This
the
is my
grandfather?
grandfather.
Okay. And he has 7
Grandfather.
kids? Grandmother.
And
And your father's which one?
This. My father.
Okay. This is a book about his history, his life?
Yeah.
Which one of your uncles were you really close to? Or your aunts? Any of them that you
Actually,
remember talking to?
He was very good to me. He helped me start my art. He saw me painting, and he put my first art show. I was only 16. Made 400 watercolor paintings, and they all sold. So he was really supporting.
Wow.
And he actually went to Japan a lot.
Oh, did he?
This is
Well, so he's kind of one of the reasons why you decided, hey, let me do what my uncle did and go to Japan and see what it's like.
No, I love Japan. In Iceland, there was this amazing place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm realizing more and more last 10 years how much that place changed my life. It was the American cultural center,
Okay.
attached to the university, to the
Military base.
base,
Right.
but in Reykjavik.
Was that an Air Force base?
Yes.
I think so. I because I was in the Air Force. Right.
And I would go there and borrow, Super 8mm movies and books and
Mhm.
all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a lot of stuff about Japan, because you had been in Japan and
Right,
everything
right.
was there. And I read a lot of stuff about Japan. So that's where my interest for Japan came.
Well, and also you're doing martial arts anyway.
Yes, I was doing martial arts.
Were you studying Shotokan?
Yes,
Karate?
Shotokan.
That's what I figured. That's why.
Sure.
That's the style of karate you're studying.
And I had to go for my degrees. I had to actually go to London
Yes.
to get my higher degree.
High degree.
Levels. Over brown belt. I had to
Right.
go to London.
Yeah, you go there to show your kata there.
Yeah.
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 Wow. My goodness. Okay, let's get into something I'm really interested in. How'd you two meet?
I was holding a lecture, and I was standing on stage with 3 of my friends.
A lecture doing what? What was the lecture on?
Something spiritual, I don't remember.
Okay, okay,
And from my school, I think it was on Kabbalah.
okay.
And she walks in, and I pointed her out to my friends, and I said, "That's going to be my wife." And at this time, she was dating someone else, and I was married in America. But I told her, "That's going to be my wife."
Now you've been married how many times?
4 times. This is my 4th.
Okay, wait. How old were you for the first one?
21.
Okay, second one?
No, 30 something.
Okay, 30 something. Okay, your fourth one? I mean, third one?
My 3rd one in my 40s.
In your 40s. Okay.
America. So it's been Iceland, Sweden, America, now Japan.
Icelandic woman, American woman,
Swedish woman.
Swedish woman, American
And
woman.
then American woman.
American.
Yeah.
Any children?
No, with the first one.
Okay.
1 child, and she has 4 kids. So we have 4 grandkids. And now one of my grandkids.
Oh, you have 1 child,
Yeah,
and she has 4
kids.
kids. Okay.
And one of those has 1 kid.
Are you close with your daughter?
Oh yeah, we talk all the time.
Okay. Has she been here?
Oh yeah, they've been there a couple of times.
Okay. And grandchildren?
Mm.
No great grandchildren yet?
One.
1 great child.
I'm a great grandpa.
Okay.
So
all
my
right.
granddaughter made me great.
That's wonderful. Okay, so you're the 4th. Were you ever married before?
No.
Okay.
I was still a college student when I first met him.
Okie dokie.
So,
Okay. that's understood.
But nothing happened for 3 years. We were just, she
Okay.
became a student in the school.
Okay.
And translator, she was translating for me. So nothing happened, we were just professional.
Right. So how long have you been married now? You said
16 years, yeah.
16 years.
Yeah, quite long.
In the first 10 years, we got married every year. Full wedding
We did
ceremony.
a ceremony.
So would you, okay, so you're coming from Japan, Eiko, where everything is pretty set, okay, and pretty, very traditional, because it is so set. Now you meet Gudni, and he's talking about spirituality, I'm assuming, and different things like that. Were you Shinto? Were you Buddhist?
No.
Your family? Neither or?
No.
Did you have any thoughts about that? Either one?
No interested about in religions, but since my childhood, I kind of always lived in my little like fantasy world.
Mhm.
So I was feeling beings and seeing beings, So I didn't have anything against that kind of unseen world,
Right.
So I was very interested in what his school was teaching. So
Okay.
that was actually one of the first times I went to his to the school.
Okay.
Mm.
So then right away you asked to start translating for you?
Yeah, I don't know how soon after, but
Okay.
maybe a few months later.
Mm.
Because at that time I was kind of back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
He was still living in America at
Yeah.
that time. He was
Mhm.
coming to Japan about a few times a year.
Four
Mhm.
times a year,
Four times a year.
staying for a month or two.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the guys at Narita were like, nah, they were not happy.
Mm.
Because you're coming back and going,
I
leaving so
was
much
coming, I was
going
coming
back
in 2
and-
months.
every 2 months.
I was here 4 times a year, but staying 1 or 2 months.
Oh, I see.
So they were kind of like,
What is he doing?
yeah,
Right,
6
that's what-
months a year. That's,
Right, that's
are
not.
you living here? Are you paying taxes?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Make up
You
your
know?
mind,
Yeah.
right?
So we had to she had to convince them because I had to wait for the visa
Okay,
in
so
my
you
home
couldn't be,
country.
right, you couldn't be.
But it only took a couple of months.
Okay.
They said maybe 3-4 months. So we thought, okay, we're going to be in Europe for 3-4 months. But it only took 2 months, man. Less even.
I don't remember. His
Yeah.
story.
But Eiko, when did you learn English? Because you said you came back and did you speak English before you left university?
Yes, I had a lot of like foreign friends
It's-
at that time.
Jochi.
Jochi, yes.
Okay.
So
That's when you started. Once you got into Jochi, then you started
I
meeting.
started studying English in my high school.
Okay.
Yeah, just on my own.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I started having foreign friends.
When you got to
I
Jochi.
yeah,
So by the time you finished, you were pretty.
it was okay.
You weren't
spoke
afraid,
with-
right?
Yeah, I spoke in Spanish better at that time.
Is that right?
Yes. But now Spanish I almost forgot.
Forgot, right.
And then I speak English.
English,
sometimes,
right.
Yeah.
So both of you speak mostly in English or
English.
all the time? Can you speak any Icelandic?
No, just
No.
tack. Just thank you. The word thank you.
Okay.
Just that because it's
Right.
just so.
It's a tough language.
When do you get a chance to speak Icelandic?
When I talk to my brother.
That's the only time.
I have a few friends, so.
Here in Japan?
No.
Okay.
I don't know any Icelanders.
But what about at the Chamber of Commerce, the Icelandic Chamber of Commerce here?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure everyone there
we
speaks
used to.
Icelandic.
I mean, I haven't been a part of that for a while.
Okay.
But actually, we have a staff who is Icelandic,
Mm-hmm.
works in Aurora.
Works where?
In Aurora with me.
Oh, no, okay.
Yeah, she's from Iceland.
Okay.
Telma.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, sometimes, but my Icelandic is horrible. I
Okay,
can't.
how could it be when that's what you grew up with? That's your.
Yeah, I know it's
There's
weird, but the interesting thing is, I published my poetry book.
Mm-hmm.
Half of it was in English poems.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was 8 years old, English
Because you have to
poems.
learn both languages growing up in Iceland anyway, don't
Yes,
you?
but 8 years old, I spoke fluent English and nobody understood why. And they took me to an English school
Mm-hmm.
in Reykjavik. So they said, oh, he has talent for English, so they took me to English school. And the principal interviewed me. And he comes out to my mom and dad after about 1 hour interview, comes out and says, so when did you guys live in England? And I said, we've never lived in England. Well, she speaks perfect Oxford English. It's like,
From your reading and everything, that's what it was.
what, something.
It had to be.
I just,
Because you were consuming books so often and
Yeah.
you just.
but
And it was always in
8
English.
years old though, 8 years
Yeah.
old, I wasn't
Yeah.
really
But you said
reading.
that was your focus though. You said
Yeah.
reading was your focus. That was, you weren't so interested in doing stuff outside.
No. not
You were consuming them. I mean, literally and physically. Yeah, that's interesting. So tell me, what is it that you do? Let's before we get to the end of this. What did you do? What do you do now? What's your work? What are your jobs? I know you own a couple of companies.
5.
5.
I run 5 companies, but mostly it's my school and production, TV and movies.
Okay.
That's
But you have
kind
a guard company. Wait, do you have some? Tell me your companies. What are they?
We have a security company
Security
in the
company,
US. VIP protection, but mostly teaching now.
Mm-hmm.
We're all getting older, so they all teach.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Eiko's World,
Which is-
her
Brand.
name, you know.
Fashion brand.
That's also for your jewelry and your
also.
clothing.
Yes, yes. Mm.
Okay.
It's kind of jewelry.
The kind of jewelry that you're wearing.
Yeah.
And what about the ring and everything?
Everything,
That's all
yes,
yours.
Yeah.
And so is the dress.
Yes. And all of this.
And all of his, yes, right, because all of your clothing, Eiko makes.
Yes.
And all the clothing Dan's starting to wear,
Right.
you made.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
wait, yes. He's looking good, baby.
So this is you say, wait, we can't have this. I'm a designer. I want to make sure. It's nice to wear jerseys every now and then, but you're going to be wearing what I make.
Right.
He's proud of it too. He loves what you make. I know that because he's really stylish. He started off with the face mask, I think. He said, let's do it like, let's start it slow. Yeah. Wear this first. Everything. My goodness. All right, so you do that. So you have that. Okay, so that's one brand. Oh, do you separate the jewelry from the clothing, or is it
No,
just
together.
That's
It's
together.
all one more.
What else? That's 3 companies.
We have a company in China
China, okay.
making geodesic domes.
Okay.
Buckminster Fuller style.
For living in,
geodesic domes.
right?
For living in, yes.
Right.
They are completely self-sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
They make their own food,
Mhm.
aquaponic systems,
Mm-hmm.
and solar and wind power. So and then we have a health food company.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one in Iceland.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not
That's right.
only Iceland, but
I see.
we sell whatever good health products.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. All right. Now you're dealing with a challenge right now that you were willing to tell everybody on Facebook. I know, so you can tell everybody now on this podcast. What's the challenge you're facing right now? The physical.
Prostate cancer,
Okay. And what stage are you in?
stage 2,
Okay.
but high malignancy.
Okay.
So,
It's really traveling, but you're gonna. So what are you doing to combat this?
well, of course, I have a good hospital,
Mm-hmm.
and they're providing me with medicine, but I'm also trying alternative,
Mm-hmm.
just in case. I mean, I will do what the hospital tells me if that doesn't work. But
That's here in Japan.
yes,
Okay.
in Japan. And so I'm trying this chlorine solution. It's kind of like bleach almost that I drink every 90 minutes, and just fill my body with this. And it's an environment that the cancer cannot survive in.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that in 2-3 weeks of doing that, hopefully, and my PSA, the PSA is how you measure the level of cancer or inflammation in the prostate.
Mm-hmm.
And my PSA levels were 38 when it started.
Mm-hmm.
Well, started drinking this, went down to 28, and now it's 24.
And this is being prescribed to you from the hospital.
No, this is alternative.
Okay.
This is from actually a doctor. She's a naturopath in Estonia, all the way over. You know.
Okay.
And she told
So
me.
how did you get it? How'd you get it? Wait a minute.
She just sent it to me.
Okay.
It's like 2 little liquid bottles, and I mix it up and make this batch of yellow liquid.
Okay.
Looks
Did
like
you drink?
tea,
Right.
and then I drink that every 90 minutes.
Does it have any side effects?
No.
Okay.
So hopefully, you know.
It will.
Mm,
It will. But you just got a phone call when I was setting up in here from someone else that I think a lot of people in the podcast will know, offering her clinic to you. What's her name?
Olivia Newton-John,
Yeah, yeah.
the famous singer from Greece.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And she's
Yeah,
offering
she's concerned because she's a cancer survivor.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her that I was diagnosed, and she's very concerned. And she has a hospital, it's not a clinic, it's a hospital, huge building
Right,
in
right.
Melbourne,
Mm-hmm.
Australia. And she was saying, come on over. But I think Australia is closed off.
I think to everyone. I don't think you can get in.
I don't think.
I don't even know. I don't think they're accepting even the proof that you've had shots.
Right. No.
They're just saying, hey, I think they're going to be very simple. I don't know what New Zealand's doing. Let me not get into this.
I think New Zealand and Australia are completely closed.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying. I don't know what they're going to do because they've done that for other things that men's had. I think it was for AIDS. They said, guess what?
Yeah, yeah.
No one's coming in, and they solved it
Yeah.
that quick.
Yeah, they did.
Right. No extra sheep or anything in New Zealand.
But even if I could go in, I wouldn't go in.
Yeah.
I'm fine here in Japan. It's good.
Tell me about
I
it.
have a good doctor, a good
Mhm,
hospital.
mhm.
Everything is fine. I'm trying these alternative things,
Mhm.
so I'm not worried.
Okay. All right. Do you have anything you'd like to end with?
Well, my philosophy in life is to just be happy. To always be happy. Don't do things that don't make you happy. You know, if you're always doing things that depress you, and you're just and I see the life as a movie. You know, it's a movie. You're the star, and you know, if you don't like your movie, then recast the movie, change the script. You know, that's it. It's your movie. It's that simple. So I lived by this myself my whole life, and I'm always happy. You know?
Eiko?
As a designer, my philosophy is about that everybody is royal and noble by birth. So through the jewelry and clothing, suggest to people that they should dress accordingly. Your body is respecting your inner self and the soul, your soul. So I want to contribute to that, so that people can express their innate beauty, through their what they wear.
That's beautiful. You give classes like this too, don't you?
Yes. I also teach classes
all
about
the
how
time.
to live royal and how to live elegant and to respect yourself, to your own beauty.
That's beautiful.
Now studying a new class, we're actually developing. She's going to be teaching me, but how to become attractive.
That's nice.
Attractiveness.
That's right.
So she's
Right.
going to teach that.
Oh, that is nice. That's nice. That's really important too.
Yeah.
I think
that's
nowadays
good.
whenever there's sick, it's canceling, and I can get into that another time. I want to thank both of you for taking the time today. This has been wonderful. This is wonderful. And we must promise to do one on your home one day. Right? Come around and do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I want all of you to make sure you press like, subscribe, and never forget, it's all unknown. Continue to reach for the stars, and you're too blessed to be stressed.